Vanessa Williams has been in the spotlight since 1984 when she was crowned the first Miss America of African American descent. Since then, she's done it all, from earning Grammy nominations to starring in blockbuster films. She has accomplished so much in her career, but it's her love life that has been very rocky. She's dealt with infidelity and a marriage that involved her and her husband living two separate lives. Here's the truth about her messy dating history. When Vanessa Williams was crowned Miss America in 1984, all her dreams came true. When racy, unauthorized pictures of her surfaced in Penthouse magazine, even though the pictures were taken when she was a teenager, Vanessa recognized she had made a stupid mistake. The backlash continued to ruin her life. She told Newsweek that Black leaders like Roy Innis and TV commentator Tony Jones spoke harshly about her. She was also turned down by a co-op apartment board in New York after they deemed her an inappropriate person. She told Entertainment Weekly she had no choice but to move back in with her parents in the New York City suburb of Millwood. Her parents forgave her for posing for the pictures, but they couldn't shelter her from the media. Vanessa said there were photographers camped out on their front lawn, and her parents would leave the curtains wide open so people wouldn't think they were doing anything dishonest inside their home. The battle with the media was too much for her to handle on her own, so she reached out to public relations specialist Ramon Hervey. A press conference was scheduled, and Ramon told her that since the scandal would stay with her for the rest of her life, she might as well be honest about it. Ramon's advice not only helped, but he and Vanessa's relationship turned from professional to romantic. It wasn't easy for Ramon to win her trust, and he told the LA Times, "Vanessa's not an easy person to get to know." 3 years after her Miss America debacle, 23-year-old Vanessa and Ramon, who was 13 years older than her, got married. He gave up his career as a PR rep and became Vanessa's manager. They moved out to Los Angeles, where Vanessa started focusing on her acting and singing career. In the following years, Vanessa's life would move at full speed. She had her first child at the age of 24, a second at the age of 26, and a third baby at the age of 30. Vanessa rebuilt her career from the ground up with Ramon's help, starting with her 1988 hit album, The Right Stuff. She was the major breadwinner in their marriage.
Favorite love song?
I would have to say Save the Best for Last because it's made me lots of money.
But Vanessa told the New York Times that Ramon handled their money and she was left in the dark about their finances. Vanessa stated to Glamour magazine that her husband was always with her and they traveled together for work, but she wasn't 100% available to him. With her husband no longer at the top of her priority list, Vanessa said they had a few issues with infidelity. She hung in there for a while, but after 10 years of marriage, she indicated that she just couldn't do it anymore. She and Ramon separated in 1995, and it took her a while to clean up her finances. She told the New York Times a home renovation project she and Ramon started during their marriage had turned into a money pit. She was also hit with a lawsuit from one of the contractors. She eventually hired an accounting firm to clean up her financial affairs. After getting back on her feet, she took complete control over her finances, taxes, and bills. She learned her lesson and would never put herself in that situation again. With her divorce finalized in February 1996, Vanessa was back on the market and looking for love. While filming the 1997 miniseries The Odyssey, she fell hard for screenwriter Chris Solomine. She told People magazine she felt like she had known him for years. He bonded with her kids and even spent a few days of the week out on the road with Vanessa. Sadly, their relationship wouldn't work, but a new love was waiting right around the corner. In August 1998, she was at a party where she met Los Angeles Lakers basketball star and father of one, Rick Fox. Vanessa was immediately attracted to Rick, who was 6 years younger than her, but she thought he was very mature for his age. She told the New York Times, "He wanted me from the beginning." Rick told her, "If I don't marry you, I'm not going to marry anybody else." She was approaching her 36th birthday and had a constant fear that she was too old, so she was comforted by his words. Rick had some baggage from the past. He had gotten burned by his son's mother, who depended on him financially. After they battled over a prenuptial agreement, Rick called off the wedding just days before he and his ex were set to walk down the aisle. He told Vanessa how a prenup ruined that relationship, and she completely understood his concerns. Since she had to financially rebuild her life after the end of her first marriage, she wasn't interested in mixing her finances with Rick's anyway. Their lawyers drew up an agreement that said they were entitled to their own property in the event of a divorce. They got married in September 1999 at a private ceremony on a Caribbean island, followed by a church wedding that same month when they returned to New York. The following year, she gave birth to their daughter, Sasha Fox. Things began to fall apart for the couple almost immediately, and many people saw the writing on the wall as soon as she and Rick said, "I do." Rick was on the road or out in Los Angeles for his basketball career, while Vanessa stayed on the East Coast to raise her 4 children and to be closer to her acting and Broadway gigs. They also opened up to the New York Times about how they lived completely separate lives, including separate homes on opposite coasts. They split everything down the middle, including a family trip to Hawaii. Vanessa told the New York Times, "I sent my bills to my people and he sent his bills to his people." Even after welcoming their daughter Sasha, Vanessa said they never discussed opening a joint bank account, and they looked forward to splitting the cost of their daughter's education. In 2002, just 3 years after getting married, they announced their separation, but neither of them were in a hurry to file for divorce. In June 2004, the National Enquirer published a photo of Rick kissing a mysterious blonde at a Waikiki nightclub. Despite what many considered to be an extramarital affair, Rick and Vanessa took a family vacation just a few weeks later. In August 2004, after being estranged for more than 18 months, Rick filed for divorce. Vanessa put all of her energy into her career and raising her children. Because her daughter Sasha was still so young, Vanessa wasn't sure if she should start dating and introducing a new man into her life so soon. 8 years passed by, and as her daughter entered her preteen years, Vanessa became interested in Greek and Egyptian culture. After doing some research, she and her daughter Sasha took a trip to Egypt in 2012 to check out the pyramids and the Nile River. Vanessa told Wendy Williams they went on a tour and her tour guide sat next to her and said, "I sat next to this guy, he's traveling alone and he's single. You should go talk to him." Vanessa thought, why not? His name was Jim Scripp, and he was from New York just like her. They bonded over a conversation about the Buffalo Bills football team. Then Vanessa's tour guide dared her to ask Jim out on a date. It was her last night in Egypt, but she decided to accept the dare. Jim was on a separate tour bus on his way back to his accommodations, so her tour guide called his tour guide and handed the phone to Vanessa. She asked him if he'd meet her at her hotel for dinner, and he agreed. Her daughter Sasha was totally okay with her mom spending some time with her new acquaintance. Vanessa said she and Jim, who was a real estate and accounting professional, had a beautiful 3-hour dinner. After returning to the States, they began dating. Vanessa told Glamour magazine she realized Jim was someone who could be a solid role model for her youngest daughter. She also knew he could support her and her career while also helping her run her household. They dated for a year and a half before Jim popped the question. They got married on July 4th, 2015 in Jim's hometown of Buffalo, New York. They had a second wedding ceremony at a Catholic church in 2016. She has learned a lot of lessons after walking down the aisle 3 times. She now realizes she can't expect one person to fulfill every need in her life. Therefore, she has a friend she goes to the theater with and another friend she plays tennis with. This takes a tremendous amount of pressure off her husband and allows their marriage to flourish. But she ended her 2019 Glamour magazine interview with some surprising words. Vanessa said, "When I'm in my 90s, we'll see who I'm with, or even if I want to be with somebody at all." Let us know your thoughts on Vanessa Williams' dating history, and thanks for watching Real Reality Gossip.